issue. Since that time, we have fulfilled its mandate to inform people of events from across the street to around the world. Imagine a company older than the state of Michigan, with over 300 employees, producing a different product every day of the year, reaching up to 60,000 homes and more than 120,000 readers, and each year consuming nearly 250,000 gallons of ink and enough newsprint to circle the earth 2 times. The Ann Arbor News, upholding one of the most precious traditions and freedoms that mankind enjoys. To publish the news every day requires a well-orchestrated team. The Ann Arbor News is divided into 3 main elements: information, its gathering and refinement into articles and advertisements; production, the actual printing and distribution; and support, those departments which serve the newspaper as a whole. The publisher oversees the entire operation of the paper. Tim White serves as a primary link between the news and the community. He establishes the basic policies and goals of the Ann Arbor News.
We regard ourselves as being in precisely the same class as the Detroit Free Press or Detroit News. In fact, in 1985, we were one of the most awarded newspapers in Michigan. We won more awards for journalistic excellence and reproduction and so forth. We have visitors from both our fellow booth newspapers as well as other newspapers around the country wanting to come see what we're doing with our circulation management, our unique development of a retention program and computerization in circulation. Those are the signals that let us know that we're on track to being one of the 20 best newspapers in the country.
The major information gathering of the news is performed by 2 departments, the newsroom and advertising. The source most people are familiar with is the newsroom. Headed by editor Brian Malone, the paper has a newsroom staff of 65 who, working out of the Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti offices, cover the local stories which are the heart of the Ann Arbor News. The newsroom copy desk processes stories from correspondents in Lansing and Washington and from wire services, including the Associated Press, the New York Times, the Los Angeles Times, Washington Post, and the Newhouse News Service. 10 years ago, computers replaced the typewriter so long identified with newspapers. The other source of news and information is the advertising department. Information about products and services is the kind of useful news which people need in their daily lives. Sales representatives gather display advertising from local and national businesses. This advertising appears throughout the paper, bringing news of product service availability to our readers. Our classified advertising section is one of the most successful in the country. We call it our person-to-person section. We help people find a puppy, sell a boat, find a job, a house, a car. Over 700,000 times a year. Newspaper layout determines the number of pages in the paper and creates a blueprint of each page showing where ads will appear. This allows the newsroom to know how much space is allotted for news copy and creates a map for the final page design. The information gathering departments are supported by 2 other departments, photography and art. The Ann Arbor News award-winning photo department creates the pictures, often in color. Responding to as many as 30 photo assignments and breaking news events each day, their pictures provide a vitality often so important in conveying the essence of a story. Our high-speed automatic processing equipment is critical to timely photojournalism. The art department creates the artwork for both news stories and advertisements. The artists work closely with advertisers and editors to assure accuracy while creating visually appealing graphics. The art department has been the recipient of several major design awards. Once the page design is finalized, the production and circulation departments take over. These departments are made up of ad services and page makeup, camera, plate making, the press room, mail room, and carriers. Ad services produces ads in their final form. The completed advertisement is then sent to page makeup, which composes the pages we ultimately read by bringing together information from both the editorial and advertising departments, by electronically preparing pictures from the photo department into a printable format, and by setting the type using a computer typesetter network, all at an average of 74 pages per day. As each page is completed, it moves to the camera department, where a full-page photo negative is made. The negative then goes to the plate-making department, where a raised surface plastic printing plate is formed. The plate is then locked onto the press. Our Gauss presses print up to 40,000 papers an hour, in color as well as black and white. In 1986, the Ann Arbor News won the Knapp Award for Best in the World Letterpress Reproduction of Black and White. At the folder, the printed stock is cut and folded into the finished newspaper. With 50,000 daily subscribers and 60,000 Sunday customers, time now becomes even more critical. The mailroom and circulation departments must move quickly to get the papers to 600 foot carriers, 50 motor carriers, 150 newsstands, and 220 vending machines. Over the course of a year, more than 18 million newspapers will be delivered by our circulation department. The third major element of the Ann Arbor News is comprised of support departments: accounting, general administration, marketing, and maintenance. Accounting is responsible for billing and collecting revenue and disbursement of funds. General administration handles employment and personnel support, while keeping the massive computer network operational. The marketing department performs research for readers, advertisers, and for internal use. Promotions are also a function of the marketing group. And finally, the maintenance department, responsible for the mechanical functions of the building, provides a clean and safe work environment.
We have a group of people here that, for a newspaper our size, is as talented pound for pound as you're going to find for any newspaper in the country. We want it to be an exciting, fun, and rewarding place to work. We want the Ann Arbor News to be a completely sufficient newspaper. More important than being top 20, though, is that readers in our community find us to be absolutely necessary, indispensable part of their day.
The Ann Arbor News responds to mankind's need to communicate. And for over 150 years, the people of Washtenaw County have made us an indispensable part of their everyday lives.